Well, here's my little Lexmoto ZSB. Today's task is to check and set the valve clearances. There's different valve clearances actually listed on the internet. There's at least 3 sets. The bike is currently set to 0.05mm inlet and outlet, and they're maybe a bit tight because the bike's not performing quite as it should, but it's nice and quiet. So the first thing to do is need to remove the saddle, side panels and the tank to get access. It's possible to get access to the front without doing that, but I think it's probably a bit difficult to get in to do the valves here. And then once you've got all that removed, the next thing to do is to come around to this side. You have to remove this part to get the timing marks, and then you also have to remove this plug here to turn the engine, but I'm sure you could just put it into gear and turn the wheel if you really wanted. But that's what we're going to do now. Okay, so the timing mark is, oh, it's not quite on it yet, but so that's it now, in line there. The 2 valve cover gasket tops have been taken off. I've turned the engine round until the valve raised, and then the 2 raised, and then now we're going to set the tappet. So we're going to get a 10mm spanner, slacken this off, see if there's any movement at the moment. There's definite movement there, and there's definite movement there. So, goodness knows what it is, but we'll check the measurement. Well, this is what it's been set to. The exhaust is to 0.15. You can see that, no idea, can't tell. The inlet is to 0.10. That one there. So, as far as movement's concerned by finger, that's what's there. And for here, there's movement, but there's not a great deal of noise. You can tap that one. Right, I'll put the covers on, chuck the spark plug in, and give it a fire up, see if it makes a racket or not. Okay, here we go. Not bothered putting the valve covers on yet, but sounds okay, eh? Right. Right, well that sounds not too bad. Time to put the valve covers back on. Well, that's it all reassembled. I've done a little bit of a modification at the back here for this number plate where it always rattles, so I've ripped a bit off an old sponge. No more rattles. I've noticed that some things actually started to work. My LED here previously was not working. It does actually look marginally duller than the other ones, but as you can see, it is actually working now. And my dip bulb, the side light's working, but the dip bulb's definitely gone. I had a look at that yesterday. So anyway, I've ordered another one. In fact, I've ordered 2. So I'm just going to take the machine for a little run and see if there's any difference in the performance. Well, that's me just back from the test ride after adjusting the valves to 0.15 millimeters on the exhaust side and 0.1 millimeters on the inlet side. The bike definitely has improved response, far more power. I don't mean than it had originally, but I had the valves adjusted to 0.05 exhaust and 0.05 inlet, which is per the Senka. And for anybody that's in doubt, this is actually a Senka motorcycle, as you can see here. Senka Senka has a 0.05 on both. Tried that. The valves must have been too tight in my case. Either that or it was just simply how I adjusted the valves. Maybe I got that overly tight. The earlier stage today, when I set the valves to, well, verified the setting of 0.05, I found that it was completely gutless. It was really only happy at 45 to 50 miles per hour, but again, that might be user error on my part that I didn't have it actually set to 0.05. I might have had it slightly less than that, but with the 0.15 out and 0.1 in, the bike pulls more how it should. I still feel it's a little bit, you know, a little bit gutless. I think it should probably pull a bit harder than it does, but it's maybe because the bike's still getting run in. But as a comparison with the Senka settings, 45 to 50 miles an hour was where it was happiest, and really as flat as a fart. With the Lexmoto settings of the 0.15 and the 0.1 in, the bike was doing like 55, 60 no problem, and you could actually feel that it would accelerate. The other thing that I noticed on the way, I took the same journey that I took this morning, there's a slightly downhill section. With the standard Senka settings, the bike only achieved 55 miles per hour or so, and down the same bit with the Lexmoto settings, the bike achieved 67 miles per hour. It's not a great hill, it's just a slight incline down. So for me, whether it was just novice valve settings or whether it just prefers the Lexmoto settings, I can't honestly say. But I'm not going to be fiddling about with the valves anytime soon. I'm going to enjoy the bike, hopefully. But yeah, there we go. Valve job done, and hopefully over for another 1,000 miles or so.